Hi, I just wanted to show with Emma's Happy Place paper kits that you don't have to actually fussy cut everything out. You can use die cuts. Even if it cuts a little bit off the top and the bottom, they can look really quite arty. It gives it a whole different look. It also gives you more options in making your journals and things if you want pockets, because then your artwork is there, and again, you don't have to fussy cut everything out if you don't enjoy it. So all I'm doing here is I'm using the watercolours from my website, emmashappyplace.co.uk, and I'm colouring the leaf in with the two different colour greens, adding some blue to make some greens darker and adding yellows to make it a bit more yellowy coloured. All these little leaves, again, these could be feathers, they don't have to be leaves. It could really be a feather as well. And you can even sort of doodle if you like to tangle things. You can doodle in all the spaces that's there. Really make them your own. So I'm just adding some yellow in these little blocks. I drew so many different drawings similar to this one, all different things, and I do love them. I think they're quite a statement if you want just a quick card for anybody, or in a frame. I mean, this in a frame on the wall, like 3 different ones together, it would just look fantastic. So what I'm doing here is I am actually adding some shadow around the edge with watercolour. You can do this with a watercolour pencil. All I would do is draw around it and then sort of dip the brush into the colour, but have the brush wet so that the colour bleeds back into the water and gives it the shadow effect. You don't have to use black either. You can use Payne's grey, dark blues, dark purples. It all gives slightly different looks as well, and it really makes the work pop off the page. It gives it a 3D effect. So it's slightly what I do with the coloured pencils when I'm colouring. I'm adding more detail in to give it the shadows. This I'm doing it with watercolour, and I'm going around everything just to make it all match, but obviously you don't have to. It's whatever makes you happy and whatever you like to do, because as long as you're having fun, that is the main thing. Who cares about anything else? So I'm adding it everywhere. And I mean, I'm using black. It looks quite grey on here because I have added quite a lot of water. You just need a tiny little bit on the tip of your brush. Now I'm going to go around the edges with the dark just to give it a bit more shadow, blend it all in together. Again, it hides a multitude of sins if you have fussy cut out, but it also gives your work, again, more depth, so kind of look off the page. Always dry your artwork though before you try to write on it with pencils or anything, because it'll tear the page. Also, I do like to add a white highlight, which you will see in a second. I did have white acrylic pens, but I left mine right next to the radiator and they've all dried up. So I do use a gel pen on this one, but do make sure that your artwork is completely dry before you attempt to draw on it, because they don't work well, and it kind of disheartens you when your products aren't working. But 9 times out of 10, it's either because it's a little bit wet or whatever else. But here we are. Even if I do it off camera, I always tend to add white highlights to whatever I'm doing. Again, I think with the shadow and the white, it really makes it pop off the page. But it's obviously up to you. If you don't want to add the white highlight, you don't have to add it. It's personal preference, and it's whatever makes you happy. Now what I've done is I've die cut out from the paper kit 2 fantastic flowers, and I've backed it onto that, and there we go. Goodbye.